new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. Your check as I'm chess, what's happening?
Okay, I'll just get it. I was like, man, it went on again. I'm like, oh, okay, let's roll it in. So happy Saturday, April 13th. I'm super excited for today's conversation. As you guys know, those who watch any of the channels, I do panels. We've done mental health panels, Mother's Day panels, Black creator spotlight panels, a bunch of different things. And Ash had mentioned that it would be a good idea to do an autism awareness panel, since we've had a couple moms on that have talked about having children on the spectrum. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. When is Autism Awareness? Let's make it happen. So today I am joined with a lovely group of women that I'm excited to dive in and have conversations with. Some we've talked about, some we've glimpsed a little bit about it, and some we've dove in, but I'm excited to have everybody all together. We are going to start off with Tasha. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Who is you and what do you do?
Who is you? Hello. I'm Tasha. I'm half of Married to the Real when it comes to reactions. On other platforms, I'm just Tasha Gaming, where I game and I guess still react. I don't know. But I also have a store that you can't really fully see the products in the background. Self-care, self-love, LLC.com. And I do have 20% off, 25% off this weekend, code 25 off. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff. So you'll see me further in the future doing more stuff.
And you had a launch recently.
Oh, and I also sell hold on.
I told you I'd make you do it again, okay? You will spotlight yourself.
Sorry, I'm holding
all
up.
All right.
I launched anime lotions. Okay. So you see Slayer collection that says Beast Boy, that's for Inosuke. And then I got the Curse collection. That's for Jujutsu Kaisen. This is manipulation. It's for Mei. You know, it shows all that stuff on my website. But thank you, Christine, because I wasn't gonna worry about that today.
I know you wouldn't. That's why I'm here. Okay. All right, Ash. Who is you and what do you do?
Hi, everybody. I'm Ash, well known as Ashore. I have a Twitch. It's Ashore Gaming. Kick Ashore Gaming as well. You can find me on Instagram, Ash4_, then Allure. Same for TikTok as well. And I also intern for Christine. Yay!
Yay! Rennie, who is you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm the real Winnie. Or you can call me Winnie. I'm a writer, streamer, and Twitch. I also am on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm the real Winnie everywhere. I'm also on YouTube as well. I've got some videos that I've put up from quite a few years ago, but definitely something to look at. I'm also a mom of two kids, a boy and a girl, both autistic. So yeah, that's me.
And Janae. Who
Hey,
is you and what
everybody.
do you do?
My name is Janae, and me and my boys started a platform called Just Me and the Boys, where we focus on autism awareness, homeschooling, and healing while parenting. That's for the mamas and the dads that just need that. I'm, showcasing my journey of healing while parenting while carrying so many other things. I am also a creative. I'm a graphic designer, photographer, painter,
Woo!
all
Go
stuff,
ahead.
Go
all
Go
that
ahead,
good
ahead.
stuff.
girl.
So I just like I said, showcase my journey of being a parent, homeschooling two boys on the spectrum, just being real and just giving free educational resources. We also started a group in Michigan that it's like a play date for days. That's what I call it, play dates for days. And that pretty much we try to find free events, sometimes not free. We try to find some cheap stuff, but just free events once or twice a month to get the kids together, social skills, field trips. So we got some big things coming with that, and we got a coloring book coming up too, an autism coloring book.
Woo!
So
Hey.
follow us
Nice.
on Just Me and the Boys on Instagram, TikTok. Play dates for days is on Facebook and Instagram. So it's Just Me and the Boys, and we have a YouTube, but I don't post on that as much as I should. But just follow me
Right.
anyway.
Get to posting. But that's okay. That's really, really awesome. There are some things that I didn't know about you guys. And I feel like this kind of leads into this first question. So the first question I wanted to ask was you obviously you don't have to share names, right? But if you could say at what age is your current child that is on the spectrum?
Well, my boys, my oldest is 14, about to be 15, and my youngest is 6, about to be 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and they both were diagnosed at the age of 2. So they started off
Oh,
early.
okay.
Yeah, so now it's like when my oldest was diagnosed, it's totally different now because now they kind of like wait. They do the waiting game now. Like, oh well, you may see
Mm-hmm.
signs in your daughter or your son with that have autism, but now they like, oh, we're gonna wait till they turn 4 or 5. Back then, they was just
Mm,
diagnosing them like that. So every time I talk to a new mom or a new dad, they always say like, I told the doctor that I see signs and this, that, and the other, and they just prolonging it and stuff like that. So I don't know
mhm,
where that come from.
Yeah.
mm.
My daughter is 13, and that you speak of it, the age she didn't get diagnosed because I already noticed like little things and stuff like that. Um, and I let her teacher know, and then her teacher is the one that helped me, her kindergarten teacher actually. So she got diagnosed when she was in kindergarten, and she like helped me so much. And I hear so many stories of other moms that's going through and they can't really get help, and the school ain't really helping, and they feel like it's not a big help. So uh, I'm just baffled that I feel like they should have seen what I saw, and I told them early. But I was just happy that she was diagnosed and she had the help early on.
Right,
Mm.
right.
Tasha, Rennie,
Um,
what about you guys?
so I've got 2 children. I've got a boy and a girl. My girl is 4 coming 5. Well, she's just turned 4 in December. My son, he's 5 turning 6 in August. They are still in the process of being assessed. However, they do have quite extensive behaviors and symptoms of autism. So we know they've had a few appointments with healthcare providers, pediatrics, and they are very aware of the situation, but it's just going through the process, which is very long-winded, very difficult. You have to fight every single day, calling people, chasing things. It is not easy at all. But just even dealing with their needs is difficult in itself. So yeah, those are my two.
I have 3 kids as well. But my youngest, he just turned 8. He's the one that's autistic. Kind of sort of what Janae was saying about the difference in how they test. We kind of knew there were things going on with him early on, because like, some kids have early development, they start doing certain things earlier, and then we kind of noticed how some of those things regressed, kind of how like he used to sing and like play with the TV shows and different kind of things like that, and then it kind of just went to using less and less speech and doing some things repetitively, or playing with toys differently than like maybe he used to. So that prompted us to talk to his pediatrician, and then with that they referred us to like somebody else. That process alone, just waiting to hear back, took like a year. So I just feel,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
so even though
As
we
is a
saw
2-year wait in the UK.
we I want to say he was like 2 or 3ish. It had to be like, I want to say he was going on 3 before we actually talked to like the pediatrician, and then this was before we started like doing reaction stuff like this. So we working like regular jobs, whatever. So if you have like assistance from the state, then when you fill out that paperwork and send it to them, it took them like a year or longer to get back to us.
And that's
And that
sad.
still wasn't like, oh, here's your help. It was just the beginning of the process to even
Wow.
start. That was how long they took to even reach back out and
It
say
took a
this is what
year to begin
to
the
yes,
process.
yes. So in America, I've noticed it's more so dependent upon what state you live in, the type
Right,
of
right.
help you get. Some states are really good about autism support. Some
Mhm.
states aren't. I live in Texas. Y'all already know it's ignorant over here. So it was
I live
like
in Florida, so
it's a lot of people and they ain't trying, they like help yourself. That's what they be like in Texas.
Right.
So in our situation, we were blessed enough to start doing YouTube, and then that made us blessed enough to actually have in-home therapy, which is expensive as heck because you have to pay for insurance and the therapy. So it's like a lot of that stuff for autism services isn't even covered by like a lot of stuff. Like you'd be surprised. Um, I feel like there's so many kids that could get help, but like if nobody's trying to do it, like nobody can afford to do it.
Yeah.
Let's say Medicare just started in Texas, offering like therapy services for autism, but it's still not enough to where doctors want to pick it up because they're not paying them enough. So it's like, so it's rough, but he's had like a lot of progress over the last 2 years because he's been in therapy about 2 years now. So, and it's kind of like homeschooling for him basically. His therapist comes Monday through Friday, maybe like 6 hours a day. And my son, his issues are like potty training and speech. Everything else, is fine. So that's his issues.
Yeah,
Like,
my daughter's with speech.
But yeah, those are our challenges in our home. Cause like he's gotten to the point now where he'll tell you when he wants something, like I want Cheerios, I want Doritos, but he's not gonna tell you the stuff that's important. Like if you're sick or hurting or you need to go to the restroom, you ain't hearing none of that. It's I want TV, I want Cheerios, and I want Doritos. I want candy, like that kind of stuff. But
it sounds like my child.
it's still
She's
progress.
very much, yeah. She's not like to use the bathroom, and she'll definitely be like, "Mommy, I want TV. I want Octonauts, or
It's
I want
progress.
Bluey, or yeah."
Child, he's something else.
So, one of the things that, okay, so we have a question that popped up. One of our producers popped up the question. Big Mix asks, do you think the waiting time had anything to do with your race?
Who wants to go first, ladies? Who wants to go first?
Sadly, I think it does.
I think more so in certain situations, it has to do with your income level.
Yep, that too.
I think it's where you live in income level, because they don't really, it's more so like if you have, because if you got the money to do everything yourself, it don't matter what skin color you are, because
Right,
it's
right.
just if you have to have state assistance in areas that don't care about autism services or are just getting into the beginning of it, it's going to be really hard and it's going to be really lengthy for you to get the help you need. Can I shout out Miss Kelly Lee? She probably not here. But when I tell you, God bless this lady, because she from our community, and I was like pulling my hair out trying to figure out what to do for my son when we first started and stuff. And she took time her weeks to send me so much like support material and telling me look into this, that, and the other. Like if it was not for her, then I probably would have never got started on the journey with like in-home, like therapy for my son. That's like the only way I found out about it. So
Wow.
it's like the lady I had over my son's case state-wise, they just email you a bunch of stuff and they like, good luck.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's like they
Wow.
send you like 50 different papers and they like, good luck. Like it's like a bunch of papers, numbers you can call yourself and find out stuff for yourself. But it's like that's it. That's all
I
they do.
want to interject here because I want to kind of put this in a frame for a lot of us that don't know, right? And either are not in the process or don't understand the process or know the process. So one thing that you guys have all said is that you talked to your pediatrician. So that was like the first step to beginning the process. And then what's the next step, or what could parents that may think that their child is on the spectrum, what are the steps that they can expect in the process?
I think for me, because I'm still going through the process right now, so it was pediatrics that we went through first, or my general practitioner, and then there was a form that needed to be filled out so that they could identify whether a referral needed to go through. So you had to kind of like just kind of report the different the different behaviors and symptoms that your child was presenting, and then they would put the referral through. It's then a case of waiting for the referral to go through and for them to contact you, and then it'll be speech and language, which we call SALT, that would get into contact with you, so they could do an assessment on the children based on their communication skills and things like that. And then it's just chasing getting the actual assessment done. So there's a lot of paperwork, because there's a lot of government assistance that can actually be accessed. However, that is one, they don't tell you about it. It's something that is either by word of mouth from other parents that have gone through it, or just you happen to fall upon it. They don't tell you about it themselves. And I also, when you do find out about it, the forms are so extensive, and you have to talk about their symptoms, their behaviors in the extreme to be able to get anything. So if it's too light for them, or it doesn't come across as what's the word? Yeah, it doesn't come across as bad enough for them, then more than likely it will get thrown out, or you won't receive little or no assistance from them. So yeah, you have to talk, you have to communicate, you have to find support groups, you have to find people who are going through the same process to get the information. I mean, even for us, we were lucky to find a nanny who looks after our children 2 to 3 times a week, who has brothers who are autistic. So we was able to get in contact with her mother, who's basically coaching us through everything, what we need to do, what we need to say. We've just done our government forms to get the extra support for our children, and honestly, it's just been a nightmare.
Are you from the UK?
I am.
Yes,
yes.
Baby,
yeah,
America.
so it's been so long-winded. It's been phone calls every single day. When are we going to get an appointment? I mean, even like my son, Same as you, Tash, because I saw everybody kind of nodding their head in terms of like the child kind of being quite doing the things that they're supposed to, meeting their milestones, even surpassing their milestones, and all of a sudden just regressing. That's literally what happened to my son as soon as lockdown happened, because he was above his age group with doing everything. He's understanding, he's talking, everything. And then when lockdown happened, he regressed all the way back. He stopped talking. All he did, he stopped smiling even. He was like a completely different child. And he had to learn everything again. It's only now that you can have a conversation with him, and he's turning 6 in August. Just about have a conversation with him. He's still on basic level, but you can talk to him at least at this point. My daughter is non-verbal. Now, my daughter has now had her referral from the pediatrics to get her assessment, and she was referred before my son. We're still waiting for my son's. Haven't heard anything. Still tracing.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's tough.
he's been expelled from school already at the age of 4. Yeah, the age of 4. That was traumatic.
I know it was.
My son ain't never set foot in the school because I already knew when my son was ready to be school aged. He was already in therapy at that point, and like the therapists, they would always try to ask, like the ABAs would be like, "Oh, when he's going to school, he's not." Because the first thing they try to do is put them in special needs, and then the first thing they do is like special needs, they're gonna overlook him. He's gonna sit there all day, and then his needs aren't gonna be met, and then as soon as there's like some type of bad behavior, you're gonna call me so I can take better care of him at home. Like
that was the issue that I had. I was terrified to put him in a special needs school because I didn't want them, because I knew how intelligent my son was. I didn't want them to focus on the fact that he had just special needs, and they were just kind of supporting that. I wanted him to learn, because I know my son, once he gets his mind into it, he can get it. But honestly, making him go to school when we did, traumatic.
Yeah, and schools want you to do that because they get more money too.
So it's all money.
Like y'all not trying to assist us with our kids, but the schools get more money for like special needs kids, because they'll be like, oh, you know, we can have all whatever they need, like if they're nonverbal, all that kind of stuff, we'll supply that at school, but you won't, because I'm not gonna be there every day to check. And what we not gonna do, y'all not gonna have me on the news because y'all know.
Woman in Texas.
I have to say though, the school that my son went to, they did not help him. There was one lady who was acting in as a one-to-one. She wasn't a trained one-to-one. She was actually a teaching assistant for another class, but they had such a special bond, and she did everything she could for him. The head of the school and the rest of his teachers and anybody who was involved in his care did absolutely nothing for him at all. We had a lead son who deals with children with special needs. She was supposed to do all the reports. It was just subpar. It wasn't good at all. So he ended up being expelled. Yeah,
I feel like our timeline was crazy because, like I said, from like somewhere between 2 and 3, I know we took our child to his pediatrician, and then from getting the paperwork from them and filling it out and sending it in for like the state and like whatever hospital in Houston to like message us back, that took over a year. Then after that, we had to wait even longer to speak to like an actual doctor to like assess him and actually give him the label that he was autistic, because I want to say like he didn't get that till like COVID, like I want to say, or somewhere in there, because I remember doing a video call. We didn't go like to an actual office. So I remember having to do it like on video, like the telemedicine thing. That was like a thing at the time. And she had to sit and kind of watch his behavior and ask questions to try to give him that label. But it was like they were moving so slow. Like I said, by that time, we were doing reactions then. So when Miss Kelly reached out and helped me, I looked into it's called LME. I don't know. They were like nationwide. I think they only do like certain states now, like maybe Florida or Texas, where they bring a person in home to do everything. And you can kind of whatever their doctor is, they go over like plans with you on where goals you're trying to meet with your child, different things like that. You have to advocate for your child because these people do not care.
Yep.
You just
Absolutely.
another number, another check.
See,
So I'm like, go
I
ahead.
didn't go through that whole process. Like I said, when I enrolled her into kindergarten, and I told her teacher the things that I know that I see and what she does know, because she can read, but she couldn't. Um, I want to say like you know how we will form a normal sentence. Her words will be
She couldn't
all mixed
verbalize
up.
it. She couldn't
Like it
verbalize
was
it.
like okay, or at times she would just say one word, and then she started to get better because when her teacher saw what I was talking about, she was like, I see what you're talking about. Like she put everything in motion. Like, and I met with they had a speech therapist at the school already. And yeah, they had a speech therapist at the school because that's mainly what she needed, on top of comprehension. But which is crazy because this first meeting we had, this lady, oh, like she kind of pissed me off how she was like talking. She like, well, how is she getting this in this subject, but it's this way in this subject? I'm like, so what are you saying? I'm like, so what are you saying? And she was like, no, I'm not trying to offend. I'm like, I just want a plan that can help her, somebody that can teach her these things that I saw and noticed for her to be able to excel. Because the teacher was like, she knows the work. Is she get that part, she's good. And then like I want to say a couple years ago, I think that's when they started implementing the way they do math differently. I
Girl.
feel oh,
I
that
heard
pissed me
about
Talk
off.
that.
about
I
new
heard about
math.
that.
New math
That
is the
pissed me
dumbest thing they
off
could have ever
because she
invented.
I heard
fell
about
back
that.
so much. Like we were teaching her also at home, like so she
Mhm.
already knew things. So she like, well, this is how my teacher said this is how you do it. I'm like, but that's you
The
doing
dumbest,
too
the
much.
dumbest. Like, cause
You
I'm,
doing too much.
oh
I
my
heard about this
God.
new math, and
No, because
It
my
And I
other
didn't
have
son's
no
still in
idea what
school
this
and
new
I
it
be
math
was
is.
right.
aggravated trying to help him. It's
It
like
didn't make
it's an
sense
disgusting.
at
American
all.
problem.
It didn't make sense at all. It like really I
They
saw
really
that
be
she
trying
was
to make your
scaling
kids
back.
dumber at school. That's what I feel like they be trying to do because it makes no sense.
It
My
don't make sense.
son, so like the thing that I can only recommend for like I can't speak for everywhere else, but I know for Texas since COVID, like what I'm trying to do for my son, you can get them tested to see like what grade level they will fall in, and then you can get them to do their work at home. Like they still be registered like they're going to school, but you'll still be doing their work with them at home. So that's probably the route that we're gonna go. I'm not sending my child to school. Like as much as I want my son to have like social skills, not at the expense of, you know what I'm saying, your well-being, because you know what I'm saying, it's enough of us in the house to be social. It's five
There,
people that live here.
I love that.
it's an online
I hear that.
I think it's not an app. Well, it's an app too. It's called IXL, and you
Mhm.
can also determine what grade range they in or what they need help with. I
Cause
use
he
that
can
for
do
my
his
boy.
work. Like he surprised me because like my son, I want to say he's nonverbal because he don't talk unless you just like kind of make him talk.
Mhm.
And then it's like, because at first it was nothing. Now it's some stuff depending on what's going on. But he can like type. Like one day he sat and he made me type in with my finger like Angry Birds and spelled it out to go on YouTube. So he can spell. He knows the days of the week, the states, his alphabets, his numbers, or whatever. He knows how old he is. He can say our phone number, our address, but he only does it with the therapist. My son is stubborn. That's another thing too. Like certain stuff he'll do because he feel like he's supposed to do it while he's in therapy, and then when his therapist leaves, he won't do it. Like it's like that's the cutoff. Like my work day is done. Don't ask me to do nothing
I
else.
I
Like
clocked out.
like I'm serious. I'm just like, because he'll go to the bathroom on his own doing therapy. Whatever that man asks him to do, he'll do it. Like his schoolwork. Sometimes he'll get fussy when it comes to like reading because we have those books where they have like the one page, the one sentence per page, and he'll try to read that. But baby, if you ask him to do anything after 5 o'clock, it's a wrap. Like it's a wrap.
Oh,
He's bad. Like what you want? Like
Janae,
it's
what about you? For because you said you're in Michigan, because Ash is in Pennsylvania. Tasha's in Texas. Rennie's in the UK. Janae, you said you're in Michigan. So what was your process like?
It was pretty much the same. After the doctor visits, the evaluation, it went quick. Definitely with my oldest. Now my youngest, that was kind of a slow roll, and then now they're doing like retesting every 2 years. I don't know how that is in every other state.
Really?
Yeah. So he just got reevaluated, and now because at first my youngest, I just felt he was ADHD. But at the same time, I was like, okay, well, I do see, signs of autism in there, but he was really low on the spectrum. And so they combined it now. So he ADHD and autism. So when they, re-diagnosed them. So it's so many new things they doing now. But after those few things that happened, I strictly put my oldest definitely in speech therapy. I tried to find every program I could to get help because they told me that my oldest would never speak again, and I told them they can kiss my ass. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss,
No,
but
no.
Do
It's
it.
fine.
Do
It's
it.
fine. It's fine.
Do it.
It's fine.
yeah, I told him that pretty much, and I got him all the help he needed. We started reading. I bought bukus of books, and now I can't get him to stop talking. So
It'll be like that because, like I said, my son wasn't saying nothing. Now he gonna ask for
oh
whatever. I want
man,
Cheerios. I want Doritos. I want TV. I want tablet. Like
that
it's going.
my
He going.
sons,
I be like,
both of my
yo.
boys, they go all day, and I'm like, look. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, okay?
1 minute, please.
Boy, but yeah, that's why I went up to advocate for my boy so much because I was sick of hearing of the myths and the backlash of autism. Oh, your son can't do this, or they probably won't live a regular life. Not my kids. My kids, I take my kids everywhere. I let them live. I show them the world. That's pretty much my goal of advocating for them to show them that they can live a regular life and do all the things they say they can't do.
Yeah. Are y'all kids addicted to devices, bro?
Mine's is because I'm a gamer and I be on the phone, I be on the tablet. I got all the game systems, so I try definitely homeschooling. Oh my god, it's really hard to homeschool and then allow them to get on the tablet or the phone or the game because you'll get behind and put the tablet down and you be yelling and screaming. You be like, well, I'm on my phone too, or I just played the game with him last night, so I can't be mad at him.
My son don't want to let it go.
Grace. Yeah, it's hard definitely in this new generation because it's always something happening. The Roblox, Minecraft, so it's something always new. But I learned to balance it, so I try to have them earn it. Give him the
Baby,
award.
my son ain't trying to get none of that.
Yeah, I know.
he'll like I said, he'll do his therapy during the daytime, and like as a reward, they give him like little rewards, and sometimes he'll have like tablet time at the end of the day. But when it's just us here, like for the last 2 weeks, my son's therapist got like a lot of shit going on in his family, so he ain't been here. My son, I wish I would tell him not to pick up that tablet.
Yeah, it'd be a fight.
But it's like when he on it, he won't do nothing else. Like it's like I tell him the tablet is not the most important thing. You gotta go to the restroom. You gotta eat. You gotta you can't just sit here on the tablet glued to it all day. He knows how to charge it. When it gets low, like under 10%, he'll go put it on the charger and sit at the counter with it to like play it while it's on the charge. I'm like, let it go. I'm like, let's let it charge. I'm like, then it's like, okay, well, if I put the tablet down, I'm finna get on YouTube and watch TV. He like it gotta be something, you know what I'm saying? It's like he gotta control something if he not doing it. But
that's definitely my son. My son will use the iPad till it's dead, and then he'll cry because it's dead. I'm like, Josiah, you need to go and put it on charge. It's dead.
Like, you killed
He's like, but I don't want to put it on charge. I'm like, just put it on charge, leave it. You can play with it after. It's fine. My daughter, she's the same. However, she is a pro at some of these games, like Fall Guys. It's crazy how good they get at these games. There's another, I don't know if anybody ever heard, what's it called? Something Run. Where you've got to like, yes, you've got to like,
Temple Run.
Oh, Subway.
Yes,
Run.
You've got the person running, and you've got to either pick up certain things, and you've got to move him left, right, jump, or
it's either Temple Run or the Subway Runners.
Temple Run. That's the one.
I'm like,
my daughter. is ridiculous
classic.
at it. She will be doing it. She's barely looking at the iPad. She's just swiping her finger.
And you said she's
It's
3,
like-
right? Or 4?
She's 4, but yeah, she's 4. Honestly,
My son plays
when I
stuff
watched
that
her play
pisses
it,
him
I was
off.
just like, that is shocking. That is
My
shocking.
son, I have an issue with him doing stuff that like angers him, but he won't stop. Like that's my like that's like my son will play like hard stuff, like those games where like you have to figure out the puzzles and they get harder each level. Like you have to figure out how to make whatever on this side get to that side or whatever. He plays stuff like that, and then when he can't figure it out perfectly, he cries. But I'm like, but switch to something else though. Like can we switch to something else? He won't do it, and I'm just like, please, because I'll be drained. I'll be drained. Because then it's like eventually it's gonna have to be mom do it, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and he only eats certain things. He's picky. He's a picky eater. So like now I have to figure out, because y'all know Lunchables got lead in them now.
Oh my God, I was so mad when I said.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. Have you not seen that? That's been prime news.
Yeah.
That they have the maximum content of lead. Like not the minimum, the maximum
in the
content
lunch
of lead.
ones. In the
In
lunch
There's a
Lunchables.
range though. I
And
thought
all of
any
them.
lead is bad. No, but
Any
why
lead
would they
is
say there's a
bad.
minimum and a
But
maximum?
California
There should be
is
none.
the only state to put a limit
Excuse
on it.
me?
In the US, there is no limit. So California is the only one that has like a limit on lead content. So if they have the max, that's what I'm like. It's
I'm
like
trying to figure out why do they have a why is there any lead in it at all?
Exactly, it's food, and that's
It's
why I be like,
food.
that's
Rennie,
another thing that I feel
over
like
here, trash. The
girl,
food,
and that's all my
the
son eats. a
standards
lunch
is
is Lunchables.
trash. It's
But
trash.
the funny
over here.
thing is, y'all, my son stopped eating Lunchables like that like a week ago. Like when I give him the Lunchable, he'll kind of like cry like he don't want it. And he'll like take the crackers out and he'll throw the rest away. So I was like, let me find out. Because, you know, I've learned because every kid is different on the spectrum. My son won't eat a food anymore that he loves if they change the recipe. And it's like he knows.
Yeah.
Like if they eat something, they can eat something for years and then one day just don't want it anymore. So it's either the change in the recipe or the way it smells or
Doesn't
the texture
that make
or something
you
like
think?
that. And it's like
they know. They know.
Because imagine
now just for crackers.
Imagine he used to eat it.
Yep.
Now he's not eating it.
It's so
That
hard
means
to get them to try new
so they've
foods,
changed
though.
the recipe. They put the lead in. What would be the reason to put the lead in the food in the first place? That is insane to me.
I ain't lying. That's a conversation for another stream, but
yeah, that's a whole conversation.
I'm sorry, you know. Okay, so I have to say something.
Now I can
I have to say something here. I do have ADHD, so when a thought comes into my head, it's almost like it has to come out.
No, that's
so
fine.
I apologize.
No, that's fine. No, it's fine.
I'm more
it's
so
fine.
with my business. I try to look at some more holistic stuff sometimes, and I know that doesn't work for everybody. But there are detoxes you can do for your child because sometimes they say that the autism can be a result of a lot of heavy metal in their foods from when they were younger.
And dyes, certain
definitely a lot
dyes.
of gluten.
If you get Indian, I think it's like Indian clay, and you get Epsom salt, and I think it's baking powder, and mix them together in equal parts. And you run them like a warm bath and put that in there and let them sit in the water for about 20 minutes. That's supposed to like help detox those heavy metals out of their system. So that's something that y'all can look into doing too.
Some people said it didn't work for them. Some people said it did. I usually pretty much try to just change the food, try to take away.
Yeah, it's the food though. It's so much stuff that's like in the food that's bad. Because like bread don't mold no more.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like the bread
Well,
does
if
not
you buy
mold.
it at Aldi's, it molds.
That's it,
yeah,
ma'am.
Aldi's is a good place
Everybody
to
don't have that as an
That's
option.
why I shop
Look,
there.
I'm like, ma'am, everybody don't have that as an option.
Though. I don't know.
Now look, I be trying to skeet the Aldi sometimes, but like it ain't a part of my. Now in Texas, we have HEB.
Hold on, we don't have that in Florida, but the price difference, because I'm a Publix girl till I die, okay? But then when finances, Publix money ain't always around, okay? So I had to go to Aldi's, and the price difference is wild.
Yeah.
With like,
now pay attention to the apples too.
And apples. I'm happy you mentioned that, okay? Did you know that the only real apples are like Red Delicious, Granny Smith, the Snapdragon apple, these Honey Crisp apples? They're not real apples.
Yeah,
they're made cloned apples from different apple ones. Yeah.
But let me tell you something else.
how we
Did
found,
they
just clone
out.
If
Wait,
you
wait,
go
wait.
buy
Cloning that
organic
stuff
apples,
since the 70s though.
if you buy
Yeah, it's
organic
been a long
apples,
time.
make sure you peel the label back and see if there's another label underneath it. Because if y'all didn't know, Katy Perry, who's a singer, has now bought the Bragg's apple, like what is it, the apple cider vinegar brand, and like they've been fucking with the apples. Because me and Trey bought apples, and I tell you, they sat on our counter for 6 months and did not deteriorate.
Oh my God!
For 6 months. Still green, no brown spots, straight out of the store. So I saw, you know, I'm a TikTok girl. So y'all look at those organic apples and peel the label back and see what it says underneath. Because if it's a certain brand, they're spraying those apples with something to keep them from molding. And that's not good for you.
But also with organic, the problem with organic is it could be that they just use organic pesticides. It doesn't mean that there's no GMOs.
Yeah,
you know,
but
it
no,
doesn't
most
mean that
people
it's
don't
not
know that. So,
right.
yeah.
So it's like, or it's kind of one of those things where it's like if you've got
What
one
the
of
hell
these,
is a pink lady?
They let.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat.
It's another apple. Yeah, those
I ain't never heard of a
Another
pink
apple.
lady apple, girl.
Pink lady's also a modified apple. So how we found out? Hold on, because my husband's been like gardening, right? So he's planted kale, berries,
That's me. My shit ain't
all
growing
sorts
though.
of stuff. But he's got a garden back there, and we're so excited. His blueberries just started growing, like started sprouting blueberries, and we're excited to eat them and
I'm
everything.
coming to y'all house.
But he was like, hey, we have these apples that we just bought because we love ambrosia, honey crisp. You know, those are the sweet apples. So he's like, hey, why don't I just plant the seeds? So he planted like 6 seeds. Only one started to sprout. And he's like, what's going on? And he looked it up. And they said that apparently if you try to plant them, a lot of times you're not going to get
that's why they're GMO
because it's genetically modified. So you're not going to get a real.
Y'all need to watch Food Incorporated.
Yeah,
if you've never watched that documentary, watch Food Incorporated. It will tell you all you need to know about Monsanto and them seeds. So, but I don't even think the apples we buy in the store are real either, because like you're from the islands, right? Like I want to say the apples that y'all have in Jamaica, like the way they're shaped like pears, those are like real apples. And then they were made to look better for the grocery store. So even regular apples aren't really the original apple.
Right.
So like it's still been modified regardless, but it's like, you know.
I think they say the same thing with bananas too.
Bananas have seeds.
Yeah.
I have to say,
have y'all ever seen a banana with seeds?
Yep, those are real ones.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So one thing that I've noticed ever since kind of going through this process, that
not Charlie,
and also in the line of work that I'm in, I've noticed that there are a lot of children now showing signs of autism.
Yeah, throw them away, Charlie.
It's definitely the food and stuff though. I believe.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, definitely. So that's why I try to switch everything out. Like I said,
it really makes you think, because I know even when I was younger, and even for me having ADHD, when I look back and think about the reports that I used to get from my teachers, and it was always the same thing. Oh, she's bright and bubbly, but she gets distracted really easily. And it was the same thing every single year, but nobody picked up on it. Nobody talked about it. Nobody had a conversation about it. It was just never picked up. It was something that became an issue for me now in my adult age. And really and truly, you never heard about autism and ADHD. For me, even growing up, even in my adult age, you didn't really hear about it. Now it's just constant. Children just constantly being diagnosed with ADHD and autism. And it makes you think, like, why are there so many people now showing so many signs of autism? Like, what is it that's causing so many children to have these kind of signs and symptoms and have to struggle? Like it makes you think. And then when you talk about the things that we consume every day, like our food, and the things that they're changing, and the things like when you find out that foods aren't even real anymore, everything's genetically modified, and they're putting certain things, and it makes it so like, so, are you surprised?
What's your opinion on the vaccines? I just want to hear.
Don't take them. Don't take them. None of my children had the vaccinations.
My husband did, and my son did. My older sons. My son that's autistic has not.
Okay.
So, and I just felt like I wasn't like, for me, I did it because I know, first of all, we're all at home. You know, like we're
Mm.
homebodies. We
Right.
did that first round. I ain't do no extras. And then I only did it because my sons had to go to school eventually during COVID, and I didn't want them to feel like they were the only ones that had to do it. So me and my husband did it with them.
No, no, no. I'm not
And
Mm.
talking about the COVID vaccine. I'm talking about, do you
oh, you
feel
mean
like,
like regular
The
vaccines
vaccinations
that
that
they
you
yeah,
have
give at
from
do
birth?
you feel like
yeah.
that's one of the causes?
So
I
my
feel
son had
like
the first vaccination. He was violently sick. I took him to the hospital. He was literally throwing up just constantly throughout the day. Now, for me, I don't take vaccinations because I know it affects me in a bad way, and I always have done. So when it came to my children, I was very reluctant. My son had the first vaccination. He hasn't had any since. My daughter hasn't had any at all. I refuse. I absolutely refuse.
I
Yeah,
feel
So,
like
I'm
it's
the
more
same way.
so how many they give them at one time. I don't
They
hmm
do
necessarily
give
feel
them a
like
lot.
it's the
Yeah,
problem
hmm
because
definitely
vaccines
now.
have always been around, but I don't feel like a baby should be taking 3 to 6 different,
nope.
like they're sticking them with three, they're sticking them with three, like
Mm.
I feel like that's too much for a child. So I feel like they should either kind of do one at a time and space it out differently versus giving them all that at once. And I feel like there's more so it. The
Yeah.
environment is different, the food is different. Your body is already like fighting off so much extra stuff
Hmm.
that it
Right.
can't fight off everything at one time. So I feel like that's a
Mhm.
part of it too. Because I
So,
had
And
to
then
learn like,
also BPAs when they talk about the plastics that you
oh
buy
girl,
and the
don't even
food that you
start.
get with
yeah.
plastics
Johnson
in
and
it and
Johnson are
how
coming get me right now. Don't start.
right
Don't
the
even, cause
pla-
baby, I got an essay on them.
wild. It is wild how ingrained a lot of ailments we have because of what we consume. It is a very wild thing. And
Oh
I
I
yeah.
do
literally bought a book.
I do try to calm down on it because it'll just make with everything in the
It's
world that we
it's up
do,
here, and I
it's
had
too
to
much.
stop
It's too
because
much.
during COVID, I learned a lot about plastics, and I bought a book on how to start like ingraining like glass and stuff
Hmm.
like that more so than plastic. Plastic
Mhm,
will eat you alive, and most people don't know it. I also
mhm.
learned like doing my store. I study skin now. Like I'm not a formulator. I ain't got no degree. Listen, but your skin is your biggest organ, and most people forget that. So if
hmm
you're wearing stuff that's harmful, you're putting harmful chemicals on your body, and it's going inside. Like you have to fight that. Then you're eating stuff that's bad. You're breathing stuff that's bad.
Yeah.
Like all
Mhm.
that stuff. Like scientists are finding microplastics in our blood now. That's
Mhm.
how much you're around plastic to where it's in you. Like it's literally in you.
And then you think of like
So
cancers and tumors and things. But this is a different conversation. Hold on, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
it's
My
right.
bad.
That's
I
why
started
we're
that. My
gonna have to
bad.
do another
No,
live
no,
stream for
no.
that because
Right, you're good. No, you're good. But it really just there's a lot of crookedness in this world today,
baby,
and
there
it's
is.
just we got to pick our poison. Today, it's just
Yeah.
autism. Okay, autism awareness. But I
Well, we're
do
just
want
talking
to,
about it as
yeah,
effects. That's
shout
what we
out.
were doing. The food, the food,
Shout
the
out
food.
to shout out to King for the donation. I had some classmates on the spectrum in high school. Teachers did not care for them. It was sad. Half my class graduated in 2021. I didn't see them. Oh wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
That's so sad.
yeah.
Child, you gotta
Wow.
advocate for them though, because
And
that's
shout
why I
out
was like,
to the adults that feel like they are on the spectrum too, because I'm a parent that feel like I'm on the spectrum. But for adults, it's way worse for the kids, like different from the kids, because it's like
hmm
they don't have no testing for adults. They may have ADHD, so which I am getting tested for ADHD next month, and I
Mhm.
had to wait
Oh,
7 months
nice.
for that.
Oh
hmm
wow.
And they have no. Well, I know in Michigan they don't. Well, they do, but you have to come out of pocket, and the price that they told me from one doctor was like $5,000 just to get tested.
Oh, just for the
So
Wow.
test.
shout out
Wow.
What?
to adults because just
Jeez.
like
In
our
Florida, it's like I think it's like
Oh,
it's $300 in Florida
I
to
wish
get
it
wait,
was
tested.
5,000?
5,000. Yes, so it's a
Did you
lot of.
shop around?
Hold
Because he might be
on.
pocketing a lot of that
I've been
five
I've
k.
been looking. I've been looking everywhere. Everybody's
What
either
kind
out
of
of
testing
pocket
is he doing for
or they don't
5K?
have
Right.
services for adults, only just for kids, in which I understand it. But it's a lot of adults now, definitely that have children on the spectrum. That's like, man, like
Yeah.
because that's how I was. Definitely when I started homeschooling, I started
hmm
seeing the learning and teaching styles that we had to like. Me and my oldest, me and math, we don't get along. So I started like, okay, hey, I was dealing with that in school too. And I started putting two to two together and seeing other parents
hmm
saying, like, we didn't have this back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Our parents wasn't aware of this. And as time went on, it started growing and growing. Like, the numbers is ridiculous now. So that's why I feel like the doctors is pushing stuff back. You got to have this long waiting list, so because there's so many children being diagnosed now.
Yeah.
So the adults is like, hey, I may be in this situation too. So now it's a lot of parents trying to find out if they on a spectrum as well. So
Yeah.
it's a fight overall.
I will say this for maybe parents that are having kids and not know what to look for. My son has I don't know if you would call it a tick, but he likes to rock really hard back and forth. Like he likes to, like he'll sit on the couch
That's the
and
stem.
rock
That's a stem,
and rock, and he vocally stems too. Like he won't shut up, y'all. Like he not verbal, but like you gonna hear him saying shit all day. Like it's just, he just does it. Like I don't know. I had to learn about all this stuff. So he does vocal stemming. He rocks back and forth. I don't know if it's kind of like an overstimulation thing or he not stimulated enough. I know he does that. He always has his pillow with him because it's like if he's sitting on the couch, he has to have something in his lap. He has his like pillow
My
over his
son
lap
carry
while
on
he's
a blanket.
like that, like those things like that. But my son is a really picky eater. So that's why I was like, I knew the apples were fucked because he won't touch them. And he used to eat Lunchables all the time, and now he throw them in the trash. And then what else? I had to like get my son smoothies too because he likes a lot of processed food. I don't know how to get him off Cheerios and Doritos. Like all that red dot number 5 is probably
that red dot is not helping.
And I'm like, I don't
I
know
say that
what
with a
to
bag
do
of Doritos beside
because
me.
like if I go to Aldi's and I get the Doritos, he gonna be like, "What is this?"
Right, what is this? What?
They don't say Doritos because they gonna look the same. But if they don't say Doritos, he like, "What are you doing with that?" Like I'm not messing with that.
Hilarious. What you could do, this is what some parents have done when they have like this is like for picky kids type of thing, not specific to autism, but picky kids in general that only want a specific brand. There was like a couple I knew that what they would do is they would get the food from a different brand and just put it in the packaging. So it looked like it was from.
Girl, my son eat Doritos for a snack every day at 3:00. I'm not finna reseal 30 bags of Doritos for the month just so he will eat these Doritos. Because he like on the schedule. It's like when he gets up in the morning, it's Cheerios and Pop-Tarts. But like for lunch, it was Lunchables and juice. And then for dinner, he only likes like little personal pan like pizzas. Like he's addicted to pizza now. First he wouldn't like eat pizza. Now pizza is like his addiction right now. Like he don't even really eat like the fat. He used to be okay with like fast food, like the Happy Meals, like you get like the burger and fries or the nuggets and stuff. He won't eat that stuff. He won't eat fries no more. He won't eat the apples. He's not really like a meat eater, but he will eat pizza. It could be cheese pizza or like he'll eat pizza, but he's not really into meat. But it's like it's still a lot of processed.
That's good,
stuff.
actually.
Yeah,
that's good.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if the apocalypse happened, we hold because like he's not gonna eat the other stuff that's in there because he's gonna be like no. Like one thing he will tell you is no. Like he will be no. Like he will tell you no.
He knows his boundaries. Okay.
Like if I be like, oh, you want to try this for breakfast? No.
Girl, do you have a Costco account? Buy him his Doritos. Buy him his. Buy that baby his Doritos. He told me no.
So like I had this trying to redo the Lunchables because it had like the fruit and the peanut butter and the cheese. No. I said, do you want it? No. I was like, please, no. No. He won't eat it. Like he'll literally just like, I'll be hungry and upset, and we're gonna cry together before I eat that. Like that's just. Now he will eat rice. I got him into eating rice. He'll eat rice if it doesn't like have a lot of stuff in it, like white rice, yellow rice, Chinese rice without the meat, or like a lot of vegetables. Even like if we make gumbo because it has rice in it, like he'll try it. But like rice dishes, like and dressing stuff that's like breadish, like he'll eat and stuff. But everything else, girl, he'd be like, no, get that shit out of my face. Girl,
can I just say something? Because my daughter, she's very picky as well. She only eats yellow food typically.
Only yellow.
So things like when I say yellow food, it's almost like pale food. So like they call it yellow food. So like she'll have rice, pasta, chips, or what you guys call fries.
She won't
We
eat
call
like
them
fruit
chips.
because it's not the color.
She'll
Oh.
eat.
Like she won't eat like blueberries or like stuff like
So she has started eating fruit. So she loves apples and she loves grapes.
Oh, that's good.
So she eats those. But as of recently, what we've done is food has been cooked for everybody. We get the plates out. We're like, okay, come on, let's go. So what we've realized is that she's more likely to eat if she eats with her brother on the table. So we'll put the food on the table, sit them down together. For the most part, she'd look at it. She'd be up, gone. She'd be like, I ain't touching that.
Like, baby,
However,
this is blue. This is not yellow.
Right. So recently, we did put something different out for her, and she actually kind of sat down. She looked at it. She touched it. She picked it up. She tasted it. Then she started eating it. So now we just kind of leave her to it. So we just put the plate there. I know if she's hungry. If she's really hungry, she'll go to it. She'll eat it. So this was like a little bit of a must. I'm just like, oh, she's actually eating the food. That's great. Right. Honestly, it's usually she'll pick it up. She might feel it in her hands, and then she's just throwing it. Or she won't even bother with it
matters too.
Yeah,
that texture and smell ain't right.
Yeah. But it's good to stay
It's just
consistent,
hard because, like, y'all already know in America, we like 3 steps from civil war or like an apocalypse. So I just be trying to figure out what we gonna eat.
The zombies is on the way.
If the zombies come, we hold because that vocal sending. No, because like vocal sending is gonna get us class.
Okay, so well, that's one thing. That's one thing. Also, you need to go. Make sure you hold up yourself at a Costco. Okay, they've got a bunch of Doritos there. All right,
ma'am. I'm not going outside. I'm safe in my house because we in Texas. They don't need to come to my house.
Stock up.
They don't need to come to my house. We stopped. Now I will say this: like, we got food. He don't have food because he's picky. So that's my issue.
But what about the baby?
He's picky. Like, what? I was supposed to buy you some
I'm gonna find a way to mail him some Doritos.
I'm gonna have to go buy 20 boxes of Cheerios and like 500 bags of Doritos to sustain us for a year. And that's red dot number 5. That's it. Please.
I know. Listen. I went into auntie mode. I'm just like, get the baby his Doritos, okay? The doggy. But yeah, so one of the questions that I wanted to ask you guys as well, and I do want to say for a second, shout out to everybody that is in the audience and watching these streams from different like the different platforms. I see Ash is also streaming, and everybody's kind of sharing their stories and the things that they remember. We have a comment here. How do you, this is from Freddie Plays Games and Much More. How do you all deal with professionals or teachers who discriminate against people with autism? I had faced discrimination and my uni did absolutely nothing.
Oh, I cuss them out.
I don't know how to answer
that's
that.
The short answer.
That's the short answer. But the main thing is to not lose, your cool, because you gonna always encounter somebody, even family,
ignorant,
even family. So you have to train yourself to keep it cool.
Yeah,
learn how to talk to people because people are ignorant. Okay, it don't matter, what's wrong with your child, what's wrong with you. People ignorant, they're gonna say something, they just gonna piss you off.
It's very
people
true.
On people. So you have to
people will even family members.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, family, you could curse them out. They'll forgive you eventually as family.
But sometimes you don't have to take a stand to show not to fuck with you. Definitely your kids. Because I'm the nice guy sometimes, and I had to stand up to my family or friends or somebody that just was like, just didn't understand. It's like, I'm gonna make you understand. Since you don't want to advocate with me, you don't want to support me, I'm gonna make you understand. Yeah, I'm gonna make you know what you need to do, or how you talk to my son, or how you deal with them. Sometimes you got to go that far, unfortunately.
I think it's about educating yourself when you're in this situation as parents, specifically with children with autism or are presenting as autistic, because you have to be their advocate. Like you need to know, you need to have the knowledge. And like, even for me, it was difficult because it was never a conversation. I've had to learn as the process is going. And when it comes to the teachers and professionals, know your facts.
Yeah.
Talk to them about it. Be in their face, kick up a fuss if they are not doing what they're supposed to do, if they are discriminating against you, even to a point if you have to threaten to go to officials or whatever it is. Know what your rights are, know how to advocate for your children, have the facts, because the moment you go to them with the facts, there's nowhere for them to go but to do the right thing. So that's how I've dealt with it. And even now, sometimes that can be very difficult if you're not an assertive person, but you have to do that for your child. You have to.
Yeah, find your tribe. That's my favorite line. Find your tribe, because you're gonna have those, like I said, you're gonna run into those people even outside the family or inside, doctors, even therapists, ABA therapists, teachers. So find your tribe that's gonna get you, that's gonna support your family, that's gonna support your children, that's gonna create that safe space for you, because you're gonna need it, or you're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to get somebody to understand you and your kids. It's not gonna happen. Everybody not gonna understand. Everybody can't go.
Same with people.
I had a situation with my aunt, actually, because when she was younger, if she heard loud noises, she'd go like this. Like anything. My aunt is very loud, like loud. So as soon as she heard it coming, she'd go like this. Like, oh, why she keep doing it? I'm like, you're loud. You come on that ear for a reason. You're loud. Like,
you tell her.
It's the way that you said it. Like, what you think? You loud.
Like she literally covering her ear as soon as you come. Like she can hear you down the block. If she can hear you before you enter the room, you're loud. Like, and I'm like, oh no, that's just, when she said something so ignorant. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna walk off. Me and her walked off. And I had told my mom. And my mom wound up getting on her, called her and got on her. But
this is why we don't have no family.
And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you things and stuff that, gets to her. Like, she didn't like none of that when she was like, she didn't mess with her. I want to say until she got maybe about almost 10.
Girl, don't mess with me now. Don't mess with me now, Auntie.
Wow.
Like,
it's like
she didn't. And I'm like, you have to understand.
That's crazy though, because my grandma is about old as Moses, and like she still could get with new age stuff. It just depends on the person. Yeah. Like my grandma came to visit last summer, and like my oldest graduated from high school, so we already knew there was gonna be a noise and a crowd. So we had her watch my son that's autistic, the youngest, while we went to the graduation. And like she didn't care. She was just glad to be there. But she was like, he didn't cause me no problem. She was like, he sat here, ate, and watched TV, and we chilled out. Of course, every time I asked him, did he have to go to the bathroom? He said no. But she's like, I made him go anyway. But that was like the only thing. And I'm just like,
I do feel like kids have a wavelength of discernment, even if they can't communicate that with some people. And that might be another reason why your daughter was like not effing with your aunt at the time, because she could tell. Like, I do feel like kids have that. And my daughter is like that as well. And some people,
she don't like certain people because they ain't got nothing good in them. They ain't got nothing good in them.
And some people, she'll just look at them and just look at them. And I never force her to say hi back to anybody.
My
only my mom. I'll be like, okay, say hi to grandma. Like, so it's grandma. Say hi. I don't force her to kiss anybody. I don't force her to touch anybody, to hug anybody. None of that. I don't have her do none of that.
People don't have her kissing on nobody.
Yeah, children are highly gifted. Definitely children on the spectrum. I call them superheroes.
Absolutely.
And they can sense so many things. It'd be like, how did you know that? Yeah. So It's kind of like with my son. This is my youngest.
Oh.
Oh,
He
baby.
mad because I've been on the computer so
He
long.
like, girl, come on. He like,
Oh,
girl,
He's like,
it's
oh
dinner time, girl. Let's
Oh,
go,
it's all right.
girl.
It's okay.
no.
It's all
So
oh,
right. Don't cry.
baby.
It's all
cute.
right. It's okay.
Oh,
That's so
baby,
cute.
I'm
I'm almost
sorry.
done. Okay, I
My son
promise.
be with his
You
brothers
can have
and
it back
he
soon.
be up in their room. Now
Aw.
my son, he'll like he handle his brothers differently depending on which one he with. My middle son is like rowdy like Trey, so like he be trying to fight on him. I was like, that's what you get because y'all used to do him like that when he was younger. Now he be trying to whoop up on y'all. And then like when he in my oldest son room, my oldest son don't play like that, so he just be on the bed watching TV. So it depends on who he around, how he
Oh,
act. But yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
goodness.
I have to say, my daughter was like that as well. She's very much somebody who, um, she doesn't go to a lot of people, but
Mm.
there was, even if she'd never like met them before, there were certain people on first meeting, she'd be literally open arms. If you try to take her
Oh,
away from them, she's like, no. She start crying, even as a baby. But she definitely was very sensitive to people. So if she didn't get that vibe, she wouldn't even look at you
My
at
oh
son
all.
got
yeah.
issues with
Yeah.
They
elopement.
be
I
knowing.
be wanting to
My son would go to anybody.
I
I used
can't
to
do
worry
that.
about him when he was a
I
baby.
can't
I
do
used to
that.
be,
It stresses me because like he be, and then it's like they smart enough to know. Cause like, see, my son will go outside. I'll be like, "You want to go with her in the car today?" He be like, "Car," and I'll be like, "I'll go outside." And like whenever we get back where we going, he'll kind of see if you watching him. Like he be tempted to run out in the street and see like if you gonna catch him or whatever. I was like, "Don't play with me."
Oh, dear.
That's elopement. Like when they run off from you, like when
Yeah.
they try to like run off and stuff. That's like the issue that we have with my son because he'll try your ass if you ain't paying attention. That's how you like, and he know because he gonna look and see who's watching him before he does stuff. So
Yeah.
they can't say they
Mm.
not smart because he gonna check and see what's going on first. And I'd be like,
With
child,
with eloping, my oldest, he used to do it. But as time went on, he kind of slowed down and stopped it. But he walked really fast. It's like, look, I know you're trying to get away from me, so slow it down, sir. So he still kind of do it in a way where he like, walk real fast. Thank God he don't do it no more because he used to.
did
Ooh,
you ever
he used to get
notice
mad.
like the walking on the toes, the tiptoes?
My son didn't. My oldest and my youngest didn't do that. Um,
Okay.
Definitely the stacking, lining things
Mm-hmm.
up, covering
Mm-hmm.
the ears. My son
Yeah,
used
my
to
daughter
used to
used to do
hit
that.
himself a few times when he was younger, but that stopped after a while too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see what else signs. The speech delay, of course, because
Mm-hmm.
they both of my boys are verbal, but they still have delays. Definitely my oldest.
Okay.
Um, his comprehension, he's still kind of battling with that, but that's okay. He have came a long way with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the strange objects, eloping. Um, going to strangers. Definitely my youngest.
Mm-hmm.
This one right here, he's too friendly. It's scary. It's scary.
mine
Too
is
friendly.
too.
Okay.
Oh my
Cause
goodness.
like
It's
we tried to take mine out to like Dave and Buster's as his like social
Hey,
um
baby.
it's
experience.
okay.
Oh,
Getting high.
he like what they talking about?
I
It's
know.
all right.
The
It's okay.
baby.
Come
But
on.
we took our son to like a outing at Dave and Buster's, and then we had his therapist come with him just to kind of see how he does in that type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
Mm.
things they'll want to do. Like we'll take him to like the park in our neighborhood and see how
Mm-hmm.
he does, or we'll take him to like Dave and Buster's.
To
He
switch
has fun on
gears.
certain games, but it's hard for us to do Dave and Buster's because my son doesn't eat like traditional kids eat. Like he doesn't like
Mm-hmm.
to always eat on a plate, or like he doesn't always like to sit down and eat. Like it's
Mm.
Yeah.
he's a busybody. So sitting there and waiting on somebody to bring you food is not like it's hard to go out and do stuff like that. So I'm it's not often, but like every now and then, like if I take my bigger kids to go do stuff, like I'll take him with us. Like, because like just like last weekend we went to Target. He's standing up full blown in the basket, like he reaching to Jesus. And I'm like, please sit down because
Oh,
like I
dear.
don't need you to fall out the basket. But
Right.
he's just like a busybody. He not used to sitting still. That's another reason
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put him in school either, because I'm like, you're not gonna sit down at a desk all day in class or at a
Mm.
table and
Mm-hmm.
listen to like somebody talking to you. And the first call I'm gonna get, we can't get your son to sit down. I'm be like, well,
Mm-hmm.
girl, what are you here for? Me, I would be like,
But I want to switch gears really quick, and I want to ask you guys, what is like a couple words of encouragement that you could give other parents or family members of someone who is on the spectrum?
I would say, I know it may be hard depending on your journey, or what, I guess, place you feel like your child is on the spectrum, but consistency is definitely key. You have to be consistent. You have to keep going, because if you're not consistent, is not gonna, you're not gonna give the child the help that they need. So you have to definitely be consistent. Consistency is your key, and also having that support as well, because it can be mentally draining for you. Luckily, I haven't had as much of a hard time with my journey, but I know so many people that have, and I hear so many stories. Like one of my friends I went to school with, like when she was telling me her story, like now she's trying to build a school for autistic kids here.
Oh,
So
that's
she's trying
fire.
to get that in motion. So I've been like helping her and advocate, and whenever she posts anything, I'll try to repost it to make it known. But you have to be consistent. Again, it's going to be hard, but you have to do it, because that's the only way your child is going to excel.
Yeah, they need that
Because they are going to
repetitiveness.
be adults one day, and they have to live in this world. What so that's my
And
thing.
don't be scared. Don't be scared to like try new things also. Like don't be, if you don't feel like you're getting the help you need, don't be scared to look for Facebook groups or like people that may be going through the same thing that you're going through, because reaching out like that is how I learned more about my situation, because it was just us trying to figure it out on our own. Nobody in our family had autism before. We didn't have any, body to talk to about it. So luckily we had a community, and I had a lady in my community that came through for me. I'm talking about like hours upon hours of like links and documents and ways to help me. She took time out of her schedule to do that for me, because I want to say her son Jacob is like 20 something now. Like he's an adult with autism. So, like she helped me a lot. And like, don't be afraid to look, like I said, Facebook groups, that's a thing. Even TikTok videos now, because TikTok is popular. Like, don't be scared to like find the stuff on your own. Do not wait for doctors to give you the answers you need. Like,
Do not.
you have to do your due diligence as a parent and do the stuff yourself. Or you, like, all those years we lost, sometimes I still get mad at myself because I wish I would have known to take it into my own hands earlier. And I feel like there were things we could have started doing earlier, because my child's 8 and we didn't really get him into therapy until he was 6, but we knew he had a problem at 3, like because we were waiting. So it's just like there's time that you lose because you're waiting on other people to help you. So
Renee, Janae, what about you guys? What encouragement?
I would say you can go ahead. Okay. I would, same thing as everybody have just said. Find your tribe. You are not alone. Please do not go through this journey alone. Please don't. Because that's what I went through at first, thinking that it was just me and only me and I could do everything. No, please don't. There's help out there. There are people that are looking for you. Just like, people are looking for that community. Also, don't let nobody tell you about your child. Please do not. You are the advocate for your child. You are the first teacher. If you want your child to do something, do it. Do it for them. Teach them. Uplift them. Empower them. Speak life into them. Do not let nobody tell you about your child at all. Don't let nobody put no statistics
go
on
ahead
your
on,
child.
sis. Go ahead. Speak.
So advocate for them, love them, show them the world, give them things that you didn't have or the things that they say they can't have. And like I said, give yourself grace. You are not alone. You didn't do nothing wrong. It's a community out here for you, and it's help everywhere.
Renee, what about you?
Honestly, Jeanette literally said what I was going to say. Make sure you got support behind you. I feel like being a parent in itself is not easy. It's physically, mentally taxing.
Yes.
Having
Yes.
children who are autistic, it's another level. So having to even go through the process is again taxing, because it's just a constant battle that you have to fight until you get the results and the support that you need. So make sure you've got people around you. Look for support groups, whether it be online or in real life, like whatever it is, get yourself some support. Educate yourself as much as possible, ask questions, make sure you know what you're talking about so that you can advocate for your child, or children. And honestly, like Janae said, don't let anybody tell you anything about your child at all. You know them better than anybody. So nobody can tell you anything, even if they want to come with a negative thing and say, oh, they'll never talk again. They have no idea what the future of your child is or how they're going to get there. So don't accept anything negative about your child. You know your child. And don't let them put any negative labels on them either. um Speak positively into them, act accordingly, and make sure that you put positive reinforcements in their life so that they can thrive and be the best that they can be, regardless of whether they're autistic or they're not, because at the end of the day, that's what children need to be able to be the best they can be. So
Yes. It was nice
yeah,
meeting you all too, by the way. I
Yes,
appreciate
it was
same here.
lovely.
Yes.
it, and I love the conversation. So
Of
Mm-hmm.
course.
Yeah.
We
Well,
gotta do
one
this
last
again.
question before you go, Tasha. One last question. And in that realm of like, we did talk about the ups and downs that you guys go through, and being parents and being parents of children on the spectrum and advocating for them and all of those things. My last question that I do want to ask is more of like a celebratory tone. Like, what is something that is like your favorite thing about your child, or the thing you most celebrate about your child?
I'm really random sometimes. So I kind of like the randomness of you never know what he may say or do. Like, today he may not want to be touched. Tomorrow he may surprise you with a hug, like,
Aw.
or he may just sometimes he's independent, sometimes he needs you to do stuff. I kind of like those moments where like even though he uses me. I like those moments. I like those moments where, because no, he will. Let me tell you, because if he's sitting in the living room and watching TV, it's like nobody else can watch TV but him. So like when I take the remote and I'm like, no, I'm watching TV right now. So he got me the other day when we were all sitting down watching TV together because he came and sat in my lap, like he was all on me. I was like, oh shit, like I'm getting love today. And then all I see was his little hand, like trying to get the remote, and I was like, excuse. I was like, are you serious? Like, is this fake love right now to watch TV? So it's just moments that we have together that I know like are just our moments. Like, it's just um him and that tablet. My son likes the weirdest things, like old stuff, like stuff from like the 90s, like logos, like how like maybe the Windows 98 logo sounds, or like like stuff like that. He'll find like YouTube videos where stuff like that loop, but it'll be like different like logos from that year. Like him just finding stuff that I knew from back in the day, and like being into how it looks or sounds and things like that is always like amazing to me, because we've never had to sit down and teach him, oh, this is how you use the TV to watch YouTube, or this is how you use the tablet. He just knows it all. Like he learned it on his own. So just watching him do stuff on his own that I didn't know he could do is like always interesting.
Ash, what about
Girl,
you?
use me for that remote.
I would say with her coming into like in art, and she likes to cook as well. So yeah.
Bye, Tasha.
Hi, Tasha. She does like to draw, so we try to get her things so she'll be able to draw. And we her dad had just got her this little digital drawing thing she could like hook up to her laptop, and she draws on there. And sometimes when I cook dinner, she'll be like, oh, mommy, can I season the chicken? I'll be like, okay. But I'll tell her what to use, and she'll do it. She'll sit there, do it. She'll put it on. And, it just, I like that I saw her come from, this stage all the way up into, she's wanting to cook, and she's definitely not picky because she eat everything. That was what like she does. Like I was surprised when she told me she liked sushi. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah, she eats sushi. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, right. So it was just, it was just those things that she found something that she likes and she goes and tries to do it, and she's really good at it. So,
Rennie?
Okay, so firstly about my son, the most loving person you'll ever meet in your life. He likes to give hugs, kisses. He really makes you feel like, so warm inside. He's just a very loving and sociable person sociable person as well. He's also he's got a very kind of engineer mind. So he can figure things out very quickly and very easily, which I love, because he'll just sit down, he'll get into something, and he will literally carry on until he's worked it out. So I love that about him. My daughter, she's a singer. She's 100% a singer. Pitch perfect, has been since she could even try and verbalize anything. Now she is non-verbal in terms of she can't speak or communicate, but she has about 1 million versions of the alphabet. She sings all the songs in Moana, and I can't remember the artist's name. She's the girl who sings Hours and Hours. So she has a new song called Just For Me, I think it's called. She heard that song once on TikTok. She now knows the
You
whole
say Just
song.
For Me, and all I think of is the song from the Perm Box.
Oh.
Just for me. K-U-S-T-F-O-R-M-E.
Let me see. So nobody loves you like
Mooney Long. Yeah, Nene.
That's the one.
Nene should have Mooney Long.
Right. So that's the artist. She heard literally like a 30-second clip on TikTok, and she knows the full song. She doesn't stop singing it. Honestly, I when I listen to her, sometimes I think she's going to be some kind of music producer, because she will make up beats, she will make up tunes, she will make up melodies, and you just think to yourself, where did she get that from? Honestly, she's so creative, and I love that about her, because I feel like sometimes I lack sometimes in the creative realm when it comes to musicality. Yes, I do sing sometimes, but like trying to write a song or trying to write a beat or something like that, I feel like I lack a little bit, but she just picks it up so quickly. So I love that about her. Yeah.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And Janae?
So for both of my boys, I love how just blunt they are. I was a kid that, pretty much stayed to myself and didn't speak up, and they are the total opposite, and I love them for it, because even children that are verbal or not verbal, they are very blunt. No matter, their voice matters no matter what. So they will let you know how they feel, what not to do, what to do. You know, I just love how just powerful their voices are. Another thing, how they collect information. Oh my gosh. I call my son the human calendar and the weatherman. Um, I just love how he just remembered things. He's a really big history buff. He loves music. He's a music buff like me. Hip hop is his thing right now. He just we went to an autism walk to one of my friends here in Detroit, and he got on the microphone and started rapping a song, and it blew me away because I didn't even know he know the whole song. So
I saw that. I think you posted on TikTok.
Yeah,
I think.
I told everybody my bad for screaming, because I'll be going up for my kids. So when they doing something, I just gotta be like, yeah, go, go, go. So you can hear me in the background screaming and yelling and cheering him on. But I'm just like blown away recording. I'm like, I didn't know you know how to rap that whole song like that.
That's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, but just as them as creators, like I said, children. Hold on, Donna. Hold on. Wait a minute, hold on.
Let him know. We'll cut you loose soon. We're gonna cut you
Right,
loose.
I'm almost done. Are you trying to show me some Minecraft?
Oh,
Um,
yes.
yeah, but
Important.
just how creative they are, just like I said, children on the spectrum, they are so spiritual and just gifted, and it's just mind blowing how many things they can do that, like I said, people say they can't do. Like if you actually sit down and pay attention to them and watch them, and as you nurture them as well and teach them things, they just bloom.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I
Thank
want to
you.
thank you guys again for sharing your stories and sharing your tips and your encouragements. It really did spark a lot of conversation in the chat. Not talking about this hater who is in here trying to live their best life. I do
Right.
want you to know, hater,
Who has the
on
time?
YouTube, we get paid per view. So each of these times you got these new accounts, you paying me some Cheetos. And I
Right.
love me some Cheetos. Red
Right.
Doritos, red
Like
dye number
who
5.
has the time to keep doing that though?
They
Right.
clearly do. They
This
clearly
is
do. But
sick.
I hope that while
Listen,
they pop
Netflix
in
didn't
here,
get paid.
right?
Matter of
Hello,
fact, let's all
hello.
get some Doritos tonight. I want some
Right, we
Doritos.
should all in their favor. We should all hold on.
I'm crying.
Publix got Doritos. Buy one, get one free right now. Get you some Doritos,
Let's get
okay?
some Doritos.
Buy one, get one free. You have
Uh-huh.
to be careful. I had to get regular and spicy because there was only one bag of regular left. Okay,
Oh.
they just like the city must have heard about the sale and they was gone. Okay, they was gone. But yes, thank you guys so much for sharing your insights, for having this conversation. Even for me, it makes my heart full, and I love that you guys were able to come together and share your insights, and we were able to laugh together. There were times where things were like, I appreciate you guys being vulnerable about the process and the waiting and the things that you guys have to go through that I think a lot of people don't know or understand. They just know that some people just know autism exists and nothing else. So I appreciate you guys providing insights and information. Thank you for the Cheetos and the Doritos. You coming back for more.
You better get some dip with that.
You know what? I'm gonna have to shout out to the mods and the interns that are blocking, because I'm seeing it pop up, then ban, it's gone.
Yeah.
Ban. I'll get y'all some Pizza Hut mods, okay? So afterwards, hit me
Thank
up
you.
on Discord. We'll get you some Pizza Hut. But yes. Yanni. Oh my
Look at
God.
him. For them, you're a loser, weirdo.
Hold on.
Sick.
Listen. I hope that, they came here to hate, but all they seeing is smiles, so it ain't working.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing: my engagement for this stream, baby, you was popping it up, okay?
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
So, before we close out,
Isn't.
I do want you guys to take a second and tell the people where they can find you and support you. I know that Janae, I know you specifically, as part of your platform, you raise awareness for autism. Rena, I know you've spoken about it. Ash, I know you've spoken about it in some extent, but I do still want people to, follow you guys, support your journeys, support what you guys are doing and what you guys are building. So Ash, go ahead. It'll be Ash, Rennie, then Janae. Tell the people where they can find you and shout out anything that you have that you're working on or coming up with.
Hi everybody. Y'all can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Twitch at Actual Gaming. Kick, same thing. TikTok, Ash __ Allure. Same for Instagram. I am not working on anything currently, but I do stream a few times. I want to say maybe once or twice a week. And I hope to see y'all there.
Finger guns. Pew, pew, pew. Pew. All right, Rennie.
So you can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, TikTok, and then Instagram and Twitter. I'm the real Winnie everywhere. I'm also not working on anything at the moment. I am just trying to get back being consistent with my streams, as I've had a bit of time off. But mental health, you gotta look after yourself and all that good stuff. But I am planning on coming to DreamCon. I'm currently doing a tipathon at the moment. So if you guys want to come and support the Real Winnie on Twitch, so yeah, I'll be over there most days. Yeah, so that's me.
Awesome. And Janae,
I just followed all you guys.
you found Ash with her 4 underscores. And so
Yeah,
when I go to
did.
tag her, I'm like, I can't find her. Goodness.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just me and the boys. So on Instagram it's underscore just me and the boys, but everything else is just me and the boys. And also our play date group, even though I know a lot of people may, if you are in Michigan, I have a play date group for homeschool kids that are on the spectrum, or just anybody that want to come and connect. And I do free play dates. I got a free play date tomorrow where I'm giving out ice cream for autism. Yeah, so we try to do play dates at least once or twice a month. As time go on, we're gonna do more. So that's play dates for days. That's on Facebook and Instagram. It's just me and the boys and play dates for days. And yeah, that's it. And we got a coloring book. We got I believe it's the first black coloring autism coloring book, because I have not, I looked high and low for a black autism coloring book, couldn't find nothing. So I think this is the first one. Me and my boys put this together. It's coming out in a couple of days. I'm waiting on Amazon.
Okay.
Get it
Yes,
together.
when it, yeah, let me know when it drops.
Okay, I sure will. Definitely. I'm waiting on Amazon to give me the okay. They slow, but
They
yes,
do
it's
take
the
their
first.
time.
Yes,
They
they
do
do. I'm
take
like,
their time.
come on, that's supposed to have been out a week ago. But yeah, this is the first black autism coloring book. I just thought it would just be a great touch to the community. And like I said, I give out free resources anyway. I give out free resources, free educational resources. I sometimes create, because like I said, I'm a creative. I'm also a graphic designer too. So yeah, hit me up. So I create, booklets for the kids, certain, maybe elementary school age, definitely, just math, coloring, activities and stuff like that, free every month. So just follow me and just, enjoy the content and the awareness, the realness, and just the laughs, because my kids are on there too, and they are hilarious. Okay.
Can you send me the links for your for like the resources and stuff like that, for sure?
Sure.
Because so when we talked earlier on in the stream about schooling, we're planning on putting my daughter in the virtual school. It's the county. It is like she's going to be registered with the county, but it's a way to homeschool her, but she'll be learning at the same rate as the county.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so like having resources, we've been doing a lot of stuff with her now. Like she's already started to learn to read and write. She's 5. And so she can read and write. She can do a lot of math. She can count. She understands counting by tens if she doesn't want to count by ones, because okay. And so
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Yeah. So like just having more resources for her, like to color and things like that. We're constantly trying to to do on the homeschooling.
Because as a homeschool mom, you instantly go into creative mode, because they may be definitely, well, I won't say children on the spectrum. Any child that you homeschool, sometimes you have to go by what they're interested in, not by what you want them to learn.
Very true. Yeah.
So I had to find different ways to be creative. Use, their favorite cartoon characters, draw something out, use their name and stuff like that. So definitely on my Instagram, the link is right there, and you can go, and I have like a full links, homeschool links, autism awareness resources.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I even make playlists, y'all. I got playlists for the kids that it's like an autism common playlist. I have that in there. The whole 9. So it's a long list of stuff. So just everything. I always put, updates on everything. I also got I created that for Black History Month. It's like, remember how we was in school and the big black TV came sliding in and we
Oh, I
was
love
excited.
that.
Oh my goodness. So
We
with my
used to have
kids,
that too.
we movie buffs, we music buffs. So that was another way to be creative when homeschooling. So when we watch a certain movie, I create a list of different questions and quizzes for the movie. So I did Black Panther and a couple more movies. So that's on there if you want to purchase that as well.
Yeah, I like the quizzes and stuff too, because it like a great way to teach. Because my daughter, she's not on the spectrum, but we are doing the homeschool thing, and like I still would love to use these tools to hone her recollection skills, especially because recollection is a huge thing. I want to keep because when she's at her, if she's staying at someone's like a family house, not someone's house. I normally only let her go to family houses,
Right.
but like in those cases, when me and my husband call and say, "Hey, what did you do today?" And then that jumble of her trying to recollect and say it, I think that needs to be worked on. So I'll definitely check out your links for sure.
Okay,
but I
yeah,
want to
definitely.
thank you guys so much for coming through. I want to say shout out to all the love, shout out to the Moz, shout out to the haters. We did that. Okay. I thank you guys so much for coming through. And like I said, make sure you guys follow all of, Tasha, she had to leave early, but Married to the Real, check out Married to the Real, check out Self-Love, Self-Care. I always say it wrong. No, Self-Care, Self-Love. LLC. Okay. Check out her brand, her lotions. I've got them on my desk and stuff like that because I love them. I gave my husband the shower gel and I had what I want to keep in my office because that man will use it and it'll be gone. Okay. But yes, shout out to the mods and the interns for holding it down, our backroom producers. And I do see you guys start a comment. Go ahead and throw it up and we'll read it. From Issa Fly Guy. Hey, Fly Guy. Yes, ladies. I got to commend you, Christine, and your wonderful ladies for doing this to show awareness for people and kids with any form of autism. As a person who was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism at the age of 10, I'm so blessed to have more people who truly accept and understand people with autism. We appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who came out and was like, hey, I have autism, or I know someone who has autism, or I love that you guys all shared your stories and people in the chat were sharing their stories. So thank you guys so much. Again, I love you guys as always. And until next time, buddies. Toodles. We're still alive.